Entertainment, the perfect blend of paranormal and pop culture, with your host, Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
I love it. I'm a fan of this. I'm here for it.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Earthling Entertainment with your hosts, Joe and Ryan.
Hey, I'm your host who got talked into playing a game of Clue by a ghost. Turns out he tricked me into solving his own murder. Yeah, weird. He moved on, and I just looked like a fool. Joe Wakefield.
I love board games. Hi, I'm Ryan.
You know, it's true, though. You know what is an underrated genre is the evil board game genre in movies and stuff. I mean, you take the idea of Jumanji or
Right.
like Zathura. Do you remember Zathura?
I do remember the Zathura.
You know what? Zathura is part of the Jumanji series, and most people don't even consider it. They're like, oh, you know, The Rock is Jumanji 2. No. The Rock movie was Jumanji 3, and then he did 4, now he's doing 5, because Zathura is in the universe, damn it.
I mean, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's Jumanji in space.
Plus, I think it was the same author of the book series.
Oh, well, then there you go.
But you make it, like, very dark with either zombies, craziness. I mean, pretty much any horror movie trope you could stuff into a board game. Think about it.
Like the closest thing I can think of is like Cabin in the Woods, kind of, but like, why has no one ever done that? Like an evil Jumanji.
Oh, they have done it. They have
Oh,
done
yeah?
it. There's At the Gates is a videotape, like an 80s style videotape board game movie. And then, or it might be Beyond the Gates. At the Gates, Beyond the Gates. If you Google it, you're going to find it.
So a whole board game horror genre, basically.
Yeah, if you think about it, it would work really, really well because you can do anything you want. Like, Jumanji was a Jumanji theme, you know, the Space Zathura was a space theme. But in horror, like if horror is the theme, you could have a serial killer, you could have monsters, you could have aliens, you could literally have like flesh-eating viruses or giant bugs.
Haunted Mousetrap.
Haunted Mousetrap.
That's right.
You know what? I like the left turn. Yeah. As we play the game, a more elaborate Saw type contraption is being built around us.
Like, oh my God.
And we have to win the
playing.
game because if we lose, we have to somehow get out of this kind of Saw type trap, which if you've seen
Okay.
the Saw movies doesn't work out for people.
That's a good one. Yep.
Yeah. So, hey, guys, you might be wondering, what is this show? I'm assuming I'm, of course, talking to the new people. So I'll tell you all about it. But first, you should hit that download button. Everyone should hit that download button. Downloading these episodes are actually the best way to support the show.
That's true.
Yeah, it is. Oh, another way if you want to support the show is check out our official coloring book you could find on Amazon. But back to what I was saying. New listeners, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Hi, what's up? Terry? Nice hair. Yeah, Brad? Oh, love the jacket. Guys, I'm going to tell you about our show. What we do is pretty much an even split of paranormal and pop culture.
Listen up, Terry and Brad.
Yeah, Terry and Brad specifically.
But yes, we do that, and we do a bit of spooky, and then we mix it up with some UFO stuff at the end. But in the middle, we do pop culture.
That's right. It's kind of a layer cake or is it cake of a podcast? That's what I'm going to call it.
That's
Yeah.
right. Is it cake? And yes, it is, and it's delicious. In case you were wondering.
Okay. Well, you know what? I wanted to jump right in with something really simple. I was watching a bunch of old movies. Now, I say old movies. They're not old. The 90s. Okay, wait. That's like 30 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was watching a whole bunch of old movies. And
Yeah.
one of them I came across was a remake of American Werewolf in London that is very underrated called American Werewolf in Paris. And I saw it when I was a kid. And I really, really, really liked it back then. I mean, granted, watching it now, the CGI doesn't hold up. And it is possible that I only liked it because there was this great nude scene that I remember specifically as a 12-year-old. But the point is,
Fair enough.
it was a really cool werewolf movie. And I started thinking like, oh, they're actually, werewolf's a well-known genre, but I don't know how many specific werewolf movies I've been watching. And so I started watching Ginger Snaps again. Do you remember that flick?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get the hype of that movie.
Fair enough. I think it was just kind of during the Hot Topic era of our lives. So it was kind of I still really enjoy it as a filmmaker. So, but the point I was getting at is this led me to then jump into the werewolf movies, which you're not going to believe this, but I had the transition of Underworld in between. So
Okay.
watching werewolves, then
Fair
watching
enough.
a movie of vampires versus werewolves, now jumping into vampires.
And they were called Lycan
Yeah,
in that one.
well, werewolves are called lichens in a lot of different things.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
all of this brought me to the question of What would you rather be, Ryan? Would you, if you had the opportunity, and it's not like you can choose not to, so let's say the Sophie's choice, would you be a vampire or a werewolf? I want to know. I'm very curious on this one.
I feel like I don't know. Like a vampire is a big change. It's one hell of a change. But with a werewolf, it's like you're just I'd just be normal Ryan most of the time, right? And then just
Yeah, I
full
guess
moon, I turn into
a
a
werewolf.
werewolf. But it's like they seem to lose control when they become the wolf. So
They do, and I think repressing the wolf kind of makes you lose control. I don't know, man. It really depends, right? Because what if you lock yourself up somewhere and then you break out once and you murder a bunch of people? It's going to be some problems.
right. So I feel like I'm gonna have to go with vampire because at least then, like, I can retain my mind for I could always do like a interview with a vampire and just go off and just feast on animals so I don't have to kill people.
Yeah, totally, totally.
You could do that.
So I was thinking about it almost the same way as you, right? Like, what are the pros and benefits? And the one thing I came up with is, as a vampire, I'm not like horribly old, right? So I don't mind never aging or not being any younger than I am. It's like that would suck, but that's fine. But if you get bit, they never really cover this. Do you have to stay like the body that you were when you were alive? Because I would like to I'd like to be a ripped vampire. You know what I mean? I want to be able to work out and stuff. But if I'm like always gonna have my dad bod because I didn't work out before getting bit, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think
feel like
I think that's the case.
oh, I don't know, man, because
I honestly do.
werewolves they get trimmed. They get trimmed when they transform.
Yeah, but like I said, but you got no control over it. So at least as a vampire, you can be like, well, I've got all these urges, but like you still have your mind, right? Like you still know how that you got to keep it kind of on the down low that you're
Okay.
undead.
I guess.
And I feel like there's like
But
going to
it
be
did
some benefits to being a vampire as well. Living forever, I don't know, it doesn't sound great, but I mean,
well, living forever actually does sound great to me. Now,
not to me really. I don't know.
I don't think after like, years and years and losing loved ones over and over and over again, I would feel the same way like 2, 3, 400 years from now. But where I stand right now, yeah, I'd be immortal. I'll take it. I'll take it. Maybe I'll regret that like
I
500
was going to
years from now,
say,
but I'll take it.
be careful what you wish for, Joe.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I got to take the boys to see the new Mario movie.
Wow. Well, see, normally I would have to bring that up because I see a movie every Sunday and we always talk about it. And you know what? I saw the same movie, so I'm going to let you talk about it.
It was a fun ride. I thought they did a great job. I love the animation style. They kind of kept with what they did with the first one. And lots of awesome cameos in this. I don't want to give away too many spoilers because it just came out.
I don't know, man. I feel like this episode came out a week after the movie came out. Anyone who wanted to see it and doesn't know a spoiler, I'm going to tell you guys a spoiler. There's a damn robot named Rob in it. That damn robot, which is an accessory from the 80s, that robot, he's in it. And I thought it was brilliant.
And the scene was hilarious. My kids loved it. He's like, right.
Yeah, the Rob the robot when it moved notoriously slow, and they definitely played off it in that film.
It was amazing. And, of course, my man Star Fox was in the movie.
Yeah, that was given away in the trailer, so once again, not a spoiler. And I was wondering how they were going to put him in the movie. They actually had a good way of doing it.
They had him a little different than I envisioned, but I get it. It's a new age, new Star Fox. You know what I'm saying? So he was pretty cool.
Dude, you're talking to a guy who, like, the last Mario game he played was, like, Mario 64. So most of the references, like, in my head, I'm like, who the hell is Princess Rosalita?
Like, they even referenced Slippy, and they even brought up, like, the old image of Slippy from Star Fox 64, which is amazing. Like, it was hilarious.
The frog?
Yeah, they straight up, like, they showed, like, the old pixelated
version of the frog, yeah.
It was amazing.
Well, in that one, I guess small spoiler, Star Fox is in this movie because he's from a different universe. I guess if you want to blend things together that don't blend, all you got to do is say it's the multiverse, which makes sense. Makes sense in a lazy kind of way. I get it.
Nintendo, Mario,
Yeah, well, this movie wasn't made for the story. Let's be honest. It hit all the nostalgia beats. It had all the imagery you wanted. It showed characters. There was cameos. It was a lot of fun. If you're a Mario fan, if you're a Nintendo fan, you're going to love it. But
it was very convenient. A lot of the ways that the story progressed were ridiculously convenient which I guess could be said was lazy writing.
Well, I mean, it's a kids movie, but at the same time, yeah, they weren't worried about the story. The story was thin.
It was quite thin.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was good. We had a goal in mind, but it was very rushed along. I will say that. But I mean, once again, it being a kids movie, my kids loved it. You know what I mean? Like all the other,
I just
was
wonder
in a
how-
packed theater.
Did you ever play the game?
Not Galaxy, no, but they had a lot more from Super Smash Brothers. I found was a lot of the references, like all the other characters, like Rob's in Smash Brothers, like all the ones for the Switch, all those dudes, like the Inky Blob guy. I forget his name.
That's interesting. Well, they're probably going to build up to that. There'll probably be a Smash Brothers movie if these movies keep making the money they're making.
I think at this point they could totally make a Star Fox movie.
Well,
in my
that's
opinion,
obviously why he's in this. They're gonna
Yeah.
make a Star. That'll be the next movie they announce.
it'll be sweet too. The R-wing was sick.
I agree. But I'm more looking forward to the Legend of Zelda film, but we'll talk more about that later in the Earth Pop. But guys, what did you think of the Super Mario Galaxy movie? I assume if you were gonna see it, you have already seen it. If you would want to tell us your thoughts, maybe you agree, maybe you thought it was a very complex story and you want to debate me on it. Well, you could hit us up at earthlingentertainmentpodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
That's right. But definitely check this out in the movies. And if you don't want to check this out, check out another movie. Just go to the movies.
That's right.
Here's a message from the movies.
Don't just go to the movies, experience them in Laser Ultra and the luxury of VIP seats exclusively at MJR Theaters. Our Laser Ultra auditoriums feature stunning 4K laser projection on a supersized screen and Dolby Atmos immersive sound that you can feel. Plus, you can relax in heated reclining VIP seats surrounded by your own personal privacy enclosure. Get your tickets to see the latest blockbusters in Laser Ultra at mjrtheaters.com.
Go to the movies, buy popcorn, have a good time.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to support theaters, the tickets really don't make them that much money. So if you really want to support theaters, buy like a $400 box of gummy bears.
Yes.
That helps them.
And gummy bears are delicious.
It's funny because it's I get it. I get that theaters need to make all the money they can off the concessions, but concessions are very high. So here's what my thing is. I just want better concessions. Like if I'm going to spend $30 or $40, I want beef stroganoff.
Honestly, I always get a beer now. Now that
I
I
do
can,
too.
it's like I just get a tall beer and it's ridiculously expensive. It's like being at Pine Knob,
Sure.
but it's worth it to me because it's like I get to have this beer.
Well, fair enough.
Like while I watch this movie. It's amazing. And my girlfriend, she always gets her popcorn, and we get like the large popcorn.
Nice, nice.
So, maybe a bottle of water.
I'm with you, man, because when I go to Southgate Theater, MJR, I actually go to the bar and I get a 16-ounce studio ale. It's a studio amber ale.
Nice.
And it is $8.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
not bad
I
at all.
always get a Two Heart myself, a IPA. I feel
Nice.
is a nice sipping beer for a movie,
Fair enough. You know what? Last time for Mario, I got the Italian plumber. So they always have like movie themed drinks. They had a Project
Yes.
Hail Mary drink stuff. Well, an Italian plumber. All I remember is it had vodka and a bunch of other stuff that I like. So that was pretty good. And that was only $9. This isn't like a plug, by the way. We're just shooting the shit
Yeah.
out about bar prices.
And honestly, just on a side note, you were just mentioning the new movie Hail Mary. Did you know that the crew of the Artemis 2, while they were in quarantine before taking off, they all got to watch it?
Oh, that's pretty cool. Amaze.
And literally one of them said that.
Good.
Amaze. One of them said that when they were in orbit of the moon.
Hey, man, I loved Project Hail Mary. I thought it was a great film, but I read the book a year ago, so you all late to the party.
That's right. And no, I was just, I heard that news and I was like, ooh, I want to share that on the podcast. And I just did.
Well, the Artemis 2 thing is amazing. I mean, all right, so
It's incredible.
the astronauts of the Artemis 2 have been farther than any human has ever been from Earth, as far as we know, assuming no one's
Since-
been abducted by
Right.
aliens or anything. Yeah.
Since 1970, made by Apollo 13. Like they're using almost the same path that Apollo 13 used to get back home.
Yeah, fair enough. I heard for whatever reason, this is the farthest. Like this loop
This
was
is.
bigger. Yeah.
Yep.
What was it? The first Canadian in space? There was a bunch of
A
weird
a lot of
facts on this.
the first woman to, orbit the moon, first person of color to orbit the moon.
Sure.
I don't know about Canadian, though. If it can,
No,
maybe?
one of them is Canadian.
Okay,
This is
then
definitely saying,
sweet.
go Canada.
Go
Canada.
Canada.
I am Team Canada. I want you to know that, Ryan.
Oh, I'm Team Canada.
But you know what else is? All the pictures they took were amazing. Have you seen any of those?
Oh, tons of them,
The
man.
colors that you didn't think were on the moon.
It's incredible. No, yeah, tons of, and she was saying how that the fresh craters like glow, like they glow on the moon. I'm like, that's crazy.
That is crazy. Did you see the one giant crater that was like half the size of the damn moon?
Yeah, holy crap, dude.
Yeah, that just blew my mind. Oh, and here's one last thing I'm going to say about Artemis, right? You know what's a cool, just little Greek mythology thing? The
Apollo.
Apollo and Artemis, they were brothers.
Oh,
So it makes
I didn't
sense
know
that-
the Artemis one.
Yeah, so it makes sense that now Artemis is,
Oh,
the
see,
brother to Apollo. You get it?
I did not know that.
Huh.
That's awesome. Well, here's to Artemis 2, and looking forward to Artemis 3, which will actually land on the moon.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, indeed.
So, guys, that I think that pretty much wraps up the banter. That's all the stuff I really wanted to talk about beforehand. What about you?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had. Just, geeking out about space stuff.
Which is amazing.
It very much is. No, it's so cool to have that happening right now. Have it something to cheer for right now. Hell yeah.
Let's have some good distraction news.
Why not? And speaking of good distraction news, we have this little section of this podcast we like to call spooky stuff.
Which is a great distraction, but not at all news.
No, well, kind of, depending on how you view news.
Incorrectly?
This is haunting news.
This isn't news. This is an old story. But guys, it's a great section of the podcast, and get ready for spooky stuff.
The Haunting of 30 East Drive. From the outside, number 30 East Drive in Pontefract looks like any other house on the street. It's modest, 3 bedrooms, semi-detached council-built home in the 1950s. But
So once again, topical news.
That's right, topical. But inside, something else lives there. The house is said to be haunted by a violent entity known as Fred.
Fucking Fred. Sorry.
Also referred to as the Black Monk or the Pontefract Poltergeist.
Both of those sound way better than Fred.
Fred.
I mean, I guess we got Freddy Krueger, but for some reason, Fred I can't take seriously. Freddy, because of those movies, that's a little creepy.
Like, God damn it, Fred. He's often described as one of the most aggressive poltergeists in Europe and has reportedly been active for over 50 years. Even today, the activity hasn't stopped. The official site for the house lists nearly 300 reported incidents from visitors, and many claim they've experienced something firsthand. Reports include foul odors, disembodied voices, scratches and physical attacks, shadowy figures, unexplained lights, and sudden nausea.
Hold on, though. All of those are legit poltergeist attacks by Fred, except one of them was just a guy who farted.
That's
who was
right.
covering it up.
And the nausea,
And the nausea was the guy next to him.
that was the tacos.
Yes. Because if you think about it, out of all those hauntings, out of all these poltergeist poltergeist.
Wait a minute. This was in I think this was in the UK, so it was beans. They eat a lot of beans. It was a beanie guy.
You know what? You threw me. I got nothing. Good. Continue.
One of Fred's favorite tricks involves marbles. Witnesses claim he rolls them, throws them, and in some cases they appear to fall from the ceiling or materialize out of thin air. Some visitors have even reported marbles appearing in their own homes after leaving the property.
Oh, he lost his marbles.
He lost his marbles. The haunting began in the August of 1966 when the Pritchard family, John, Joe, Philip, and Diane, moved into the house. Almost immediately, strange activity started. During a hot bank holiday weekend, Philip and his grandmother witnessed a fine chocolate dust falling, not from the ceiling, but from midair below head height. Shortly after, Philip's aunt, Mrs. Kelly, was called in to help. While attempting to clean, she slipped on a pool of water that had suddenly appeared on the kitchen floor. As she tried to mop it up, More water formed in front of her and Philip's eyes. Things then escalated quickly. Green foam began pouring from taps and toilets, even when the water was turned off. Lights flickered on and off, cupboards shook violently, plants were thrown from their pots, photographs were slashed, objects levitated, including a heavy oak sideboard.
I mean, does weight really matter when shit's floating around your house? Like, I don't care if it's like a coffee cup or a bowling ball. I'm impressed either way.
I
I'm
mean,
like, oh
I
shit,
feel like
ghost.
I feel like I'm more terrified if it's a bowling ball. Because,
Ah.
like, what if he could just chuck it now? Just, yep.
Okay, I'd be more terrified if it was like a knife. Like floating knives seem dangerous.
Floating knives seem very dangerous, yes. So yeah, not good.
I guess gasoline too.
That would suck.
You know what's scarier? Like this amorphous blob of gasoline that kind of just floats in the air like some zero G situation, or a gas can that just kind of floats in the air.
If the gas can is doing like a Beetlejuice-esque where it's like pouring out like it's going around and pouring around.
But see, that's my point. It is more contained in the gas can, whereas the floating amorphous blob is itself gas. So why would a pouring gas can be scarier than gas that's already presumably been poured?
And it could just explode.
Well, I
Right,
mean, if we're
'cause
talking about exploding, and the gas can would probably be more likely to explode, because combined fumes compressed,
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know.
We've
I
lit,
think
we've
we've
lit
gone
gas cans
far
on
enough.
fire before. They usually don't go like explode. Not in my experience, anyway.
Well, it wasn't a gas can.
It was
That
a gas can?
No, it was not a gas can. It was like oil or something for propane. I don't fucking know, but it wasn't gas.
It was straight up gas.
It was not
It was
gas.
straight up gas.
It's what they put in Zippo lighters. It was lighter fluid or some
There's that-
kind. It was not
yeah.
gas. Okay, this one time I set Ryan on fire.
Just once.
One time.
Well, it was okay. I wasn't on fire for long,
All right.
and nothing got damaged.
Continue.
The entity was dubbed Mr. Nobody by the press in 1968, but the family
Because Fred sounded dumb.
called it Fred,
Yeah, fair enough.
possibly in an attempt to normalize what was happening. Despite multiple attempts to remove the entity, nothing worked. Exorcisms only seemed to provoke it further. Witnesses claimed holy water seeped from the walls. People were slapped. Some were shoved down the stairs. At times, disembodied's hand appeared, even mockingly conducting hymns, reportedly while wearing large women's fur gloves. So Fred's just putting on your gloves and
Hey, man, Fred's just bored. Maybe he's just messing with you. I don't know.
sounds about right.
Maybe he just liked women's gloves. Don't judge. He's dead. He spent his whole life being judged. Now that he's dead, he can be who he wants.
Live
Let
your best on life, Fred.
Exactly, man. Let your freak flag fly.
That's right.
Could
Let
be
your Fred
worse.
freak flag fly.
There you go.
And while some of Fred's behavior bordered on bizarre, even humorous, like pouring milk over a skeptical relative, things eventually turned far more dangerous.
How? How is it
Polter-
dangerous?
Poltergeists aren't typically known for causing serious harm, but Fred was different. Diane, the daughter of the family, appeared to be the main target. In one of the most disturbing incidents, her long hair suddenly stood on end before she was violently dragged up the stairs, kicking and screaming. The attack left her deeply traumatized, with visible finger marks on her throat. Around this time,
Wait a minute. They just said it pulled her up by the hair, not her throat.
I guess it still choked her out.
Just one hand on the throat, one hand on the hair.
It's like, yeah, take that.
That would be scary. I mean, I could see why she'd be traumatized. I'm not going to make fun. I would be traumatized too.
I'm
Pretty much-
Fred, motherfucker.
Yeah, anything pulls me across the room that I can't see, I'm a little freaked out. That is not a good Tuesday.
Not a good Tuesday in the least, Joe. Around this time, multiple witnesses began reporting the same terrifying figure, a tall, shadowy presence dressed in black monk-like robes, its face hidden in darkness. This is where the haunting earned its new name, the Black Monk. Local legends suggest the spirit may be tied to a 16th century monk named Joannes de Dalton, who was reportedly executed for crimes including assault and murder. Some believe his spirit became attached to the land long before the house was built. One of the most well-known incidents involved dozens of witnesses inside the home. They reported heavy furniture sliding across the floor, loud bangs shaking the walls, and objects flying through the air. A crucifix was even said to twist violently on the wall. Police officers who later investigated the events admitted they could not explain what they experienced. And to this day, whatever is inside 30 East Drive may still be there.
Wow. I don't know, man. I believe that it's totally possible. It feels like a lot of that stuff inspired Poltergeist and Ghostbusters.
Mhm.
I like the green slime coming out of the faucets. It reminded me of Ghostbusters too.
Yep, and then holy water seeping out of the walls. That was a new one. So that like kind of gives me like Amityville vibes.
How do they know it was holy water?
I don't know.
I mean, fair enough.
That's what they said.
Yeah. But just in general, yeah. I mean, things being thrown across the room, people their hair being pulled.
Yeah.
I mean, noxious odors. Your brain could. I mean, I made a joke about farting, but I'm just saying, like, your brain could explain that away. Even something like maybe a smack on the back of the head, you could talk yourself out of. But if you see a piece of furniture sliding across the room and it's not made of metal and there's no like giant magnet below the house, you know, I'm a believer. That's all I'm saying. You want me to believe in something? Do it.
And you got multiple witnesses, even police officers, authorities were there, and even they couldn't explain what was going on. So, I mean, the more witnesses you have, the better a story it is. And like
At
you
least
said,
more credible, right?
correct. And this, like you said, it checks all the boxes. And with the odor, a lot of people say that is the spirit of like a demonic spirit.
Yeah.
Something
Because
that
it
has
smells
never,
like brimstone.
right. It has never had a physical form. It's never lived before. So it is a demonic spirit.
You heard it here. Demons are farts.
So demons are farty. They're rather farty.
Sure.
But also this could be with just normal poltergeist, like you had said, in the movie The Conjuring, which is considered to be, one of the most like credible kind of ghost stories with Ed, Lorraine Warren. They often spoke about a foul odor happening in the house.
That's pretty cool.
When the haunting was happening. So, like you said, checks all the boxes. This is an older story as well. Another one from the UK. The last haunting was from the UK as well. And we always say we pin it on it's just a lot older over there. You know what I mean? Like here in the US, a lot of things,
200-300 years unless you count indigenous people.
Right. And over there, you're talking, hundreds and hundreds of years. These things have been around, just a whole lot more, I feel like.
Yeah, you go to Italy, they have half buried like pillars that are thousands of years old. We have a old house that Thomas Edison lived in.
Right. And just the thought of like a new age hipster ghost just doesn't hit as cool as like an ancient ghost, right?
I don't know. I would like a hippie ghost. That'd be kind of funny.
Like, oh, a hippie ghost? I said hipster. So, but a hippie? Yeah, I think a hippie ghost
just
would
like
be...
a deadhead. You walk into a room and everything just seems like super chill.
Right, but like I feel like a hippie would move on, right? Because they're like so laid back.
I don't
feel
know,
like they'd
man.
accept death and just move on.
Well, what if right before this hippie died, they realized all the things they gave up in life by being a hippie? Like, I don't know. Maybe they really wanted to go to Barbados, but never made enough money to do it. Whatever it is, that could be unfinished business.
No, I wanted to go on a cruise.
Yeah.
Bro.
Bruh.
Wanted to go on a cruise.
Well, I think me and you, and bring the audience with us, let's cruise on over to our Earth Pop section.
That was flawless.
That was flawless, yes.
Flawless.
Next part of the show.
I'm hitting the bar.
All right. The Earth Pop Report, talking about everything to do with Earth pop culture.
Woo! Here we go.
And we're going to just jump right in.
Let's do it.
Number 1. So Amazon Prime has greenlit a RoboCop TV series. James Wan is attached as an executive producer.
Dead or alive, you're watching me.
Yes. They actually had a RoboCop series. They had 2 RoboCop series. So when we were kids, because it was a hard R movie, and they had this weird thing where they took adult movies in the late 80s and early 90s and adapted them for children. So they did it a lot. RoboCop had an animated series. Do you
Why
remember
not?
that?
Yeah. I do remember it, but I don't think I ever really watched it.
Well, RoboCop got so popular that by the 3rd movie, they kind of PG-13'd it and gave him a jetpack, and they're like, "Yay, he's a hero! No longer shooting people in the dick."
Hey, well, sometimes you got to shoot him in the dick. That was totally justified moment, in my opinion.
well, yes, in that first RoboCop movie, it was
That's right.
pretty amazing. So
That's right.
the question is, are we getting a RoboCop that is going to be like a hard R satire like the first film? Is it going to be like a more kiddie version like the old? They had a live action television series too, by the way. It was called I don't know, RoboCop Meltdown, I think, or RoboCop. Like it was terrible. The important thing is, I want Peter Weller back as the voice of RoboCop because I think he's too old to play RoboCop. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that'd be great. I think he'd be down to do that too. So, I mean, I
Maybe.
grew up on RoboCop. I love that movie.
Do you think that they are going to basically do a straight reboot here, or do you think we're going to get like a legacy sequel to the original?
Well, it's going to be Amazon, right? So
They did Fallout.
they did Fallout. So, I mean, there's a chance here. There's a good chance that it could be good.
Yeah, there is. And I'm really excited about it. I love when they're bringing back, it's an interesting time to be alive. They're bringing back a lot of properties from when we were kids or like before our time, but things we still watched when we were kids, like Conan the Barbarian. I wasn't really, big on that when I was little because I was, too small. But then I get 12, 13. There's another Conan Barbarian, right? It's coming out now. Arnold's coming back. It's called King Conan. That thing's happening, sir.
That's insane that
Yeah.
they're bringing that back. But no, I think it always, when it comes to this series, like it's going to come down to the costume. Like it better look good.
RoboCop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want a CGI mess. That 2014 film, it had certain things in it that weren't bad, but overall, it was not as good as the original. And
I never actually saw the new one.
you told me you saw clips of it on
I saw
TikTok.
clips. Yeah, on TikTok. Yep.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much all the best parts of the movie. You don't really need to see it beyond that.
Perfect. All
Perfect. All right, well, jumping into headline number 2, Ryan, when you were a kid and you went to those scholastic book clubs, do you remember those in school?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What would you normally buy?
I think I would get like weird space books
Sure.
and
sure.
stuff like that, but there was always, Goosebumps. and
Goosebumps. Everyone got goosebumps.
Then of course there were the Animorphs.
Oh, dude, I love the Animorphs. In the lower right-hand corner of those books in the original run, when you like flipped it, they were flip books of people turning into the animals. Do you remember that?
I do.
It was a great story. There was 54 of those books, not counting all the extras that they did, like the Megamorphs and all that other stuff. But it was a complete story, and it was about an alien invasion. It may have started my love for like apocalyptic alien invasion stuff, man. I started reading that when I was like 10.
No, yep, I remember reading them as well, and I think by the time like they were like doing the show, I'd already like kind of moved on. I hate to say it. I don't know why. Like I read the books and stuff. I was into Goosebumps, but I don't know. Then I started getting into horror books. Like I don't know. I
Fair.
kind of left it behind, you know?
Well, to be fair, the show wasn't very good. Nickelodeon tried to make it. They didn't do a good job adapting the books, and they
No.
just straight up didn't have enough money. Like in book 3 or 4, they're like in the ocean fighting giant alien whales and things. You can't do that on a Nickelodeon
Giant
budget.
alien whales.
I mean, there's a bunch of things going on. There was the Valik in a book. I think it was book 7.5. Yeah, Ryan, I do have a really good
Oh, I
memory
know
when it
you
comes
do,
to
dude.
pop
Oh,
culture
I know.
shit. And it was the first Megamorphs book. But anyways,
Okay.
the Valik was an alien species that was captured by the bad guys from I think it was Saturn. Yeah, it was Saturn. And long story short, that thing was a bunch of tiny bugs that moved as a swarm but formed giant faces and attacked people who were turning into animals. You can't do that on a Nickelodeon budget in the late 90s.
Valik on fleek.
Anywho, it looks like someone else is going to try. Disney Plus is going to make a live action Animorph series. And I'm here for it if they're going to try to put in the money.
I mean, it's Disney Plus, so they got money.
They got money, but the things with expensive shows, especially sci-fi shows, is they have to have a lot of viewership in order to justify the cost of the show. Now, I know it's different with streaming because they make all their money from subscribers. So I'm not really sure how they reconcile the cost of a show versus, how much money they make. But for instance, they made a sequel series to Willow, that movie from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And that they buried it. It was out for like a month. No one watched it. They buried it and it's gone forever. You can never see it again.
Well, and I have to say, like, how many people are waiting on Animorphs?
Me.
Yeah, and I get you are.
No, I'm really
But-
not kidding. Ryan, on Audible, they had a huge sale. They were selling each book for like $3. And I'm serious. Look at this on my Audible. I have the first 25 books,
Of course you do.
and I've been going through them. And right now I am on the book The Android. And let me tell you something, Ryan. Listening to children's chapter books on Audible, it's fun in one instance because they're like 3 hours a piece. But the problem is this is a chapter book series. So every goddamn book they repeat information. Every goddamn book, they're like, we're Animorphs. We got this power from an alien called Alfangor. And this is the rules. And these are our bad guys. And it's like, yeah, I fucking know. Each one of these goddamn books would be about an hour long if you didn't fucking repeat themselves Sorry. Anyways.
Well, good luck, Disney Plus,
Yeah.
with your Animorphs
Hey,
TV series.
Ryan Coogler's making it, bud.
Hey, Ryan Coogler.
Hey, this might interest you a bit more, Ryan. I know you're a big Lord of the Rings fan. For those of you who don't know, he named his firstborn son Thorin.
I did.
And so here, what about this? Did you know Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Golem? That, of course, is the film that takes place in between the events of the trilogy,
Okay.
somewhere in there. And, well, they got to recast Aragorn, you know? Well, how do you feel about that? Viggo Mortensen's a little too old, so they have confirmed that they will be recasting.
I mean, that's fair. You know, I mean, that makes sense, I guess, because he's supposed to be one of these ancients, right? Like that he lives a long time.
Yes, he is a descendant of the people of Numenor, which is
Yeah.
an island that the gods granted them to have long life.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
It does make sense, but here's the thing. This is the same Aragorn from the Lord of the Rings movies, and this takes place in between the events of the film. I have a hard time reconciling when they recast. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that.
No, and I think you're not going to be alone. So they are going to, I'm sure they know that they're going to get a little flack for it, but I mean, yeah, because they're bringing everybody else back for the most part, you know? So
Actually, I think Ian McKellen's coming back. I know that. And
Yeah.
I know and Frodo's coming back, I
Yep.
believe.
and then of course you got Gollum,
Yeah,
Andy
you got Gollum, you got
Serkis.
Gollum. But I don't know how many other people beyond that are coming back because it's still hush hush. The movie's still far away. Like I don't know if we're gonna shoehorn Legolas or plus, honestly, the hunt for Gollum shouldn't they be gone? Like I know Frodo is in this film, and I do know that Gandalf is in this film, but technically shouldn't why?
Like Frodo's just kicking it in the Shire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like this hunt for Golem is literally just Aragorn hunting Golem. So why is
it's
Frodo in
it's
it?
like it's
We're
like
just gonna shoehorn Elijah Wood.
I thought it was more like Gandalf like hunting. Like, well, I guess he was he hunting for I think he did.
He did hunt for Golem. Yeah.
He did, and because he went for information first, he went like to the library or whatever.
I don't
like
I'm definitely into this. We'll see how it goes.
me too.
Well, next on the docket, HBO Max is partnering with the Alamo Drafthouse to screen The Pit Season 2 finale in theaters. So if you love The Pit, if you like doctor shows, you know, Stranger Things I get, you know, Doctor Who I get, and the Game of Thrones I get. But I don't know why you want to see a medical drama on the big screen. Maybe people just want, oh my God, they could see it in 4DX, right?
Yeah.
So then when there's someone hits an artery and a bunch of blood hits the doctor's faces, you can get squirt in the theater.
There
Maybe
you
that's why.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe that's it. But it's not quite a thing for me, guys.
No, that is crazy. That's going to be in theater.
It is very popular. My wife loves it. She's never missed an episode. And it's Noah Weil. He's the guy who was the librarian, the original librarian.
Okay.
He was the lead in Falling Skies, a Walking Dead-esque alien post-apocalyptic show, which, by the way, you should really watch. It was on TBS of all things.
I'll put it on the list.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, nothing really more to say about that. It's a good medical show, and if you like that show, you get to see it in theaters. So, hot dog.
Hot dog.
All right. Ryan, here's something you're interested in. You know the live-action Zelda movie? We talked a little bit about it earlier.
Yeah.
Well, they're shooting in New Zealand, and apparently they're overlapping a lot of filming locations that the Lord of the Rings had.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I could see that. That could be Hyrule, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, there's definitely a lot of fantasy landscapes.
No, yeah. And this is definitely one that I hope they just nail it. I hope they do a great job with this.
I know. You know what's weird though is I'm watching previews or images. Well, not previews, just images of these the young people they have playing like Zelda.
Zelda.
Why can't I talk? Zelda and Link.
Correct.
Anyways, and they look so young to me.
They
And
are
I know,
quite young.
I know in the games they're young, right? But maybe I was a little kid when I played them. But I don't think of a protagonist as being like 14.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense. You were fighting a giant lizard and, this big evil man that could shoot magic at you all as a
How-
kid in those games,
That's true.
you know?
Yeah. Anywho, I'm looking forward to this. I think if they're choosing the similar locations in New Zealand, then it's definitely going to have a fantasy aesthetic. So, are we going to be shipped away to Hyrule? We'll see. We'll see.
I'm ready.
This vote, this bodes well, I'd say.
I'd say as well. Yes. Yes.
Well, previously we were talking about the fact that we got to see the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and we both, thought it was okay.
Yeah, we thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, but you know what the world thought?
What?
Doesn't matter. They've all went and seen it. So whether they like it or hate it, this made a buttload of money.
Ooh.
So it opened up with $139 million domestically, and that's only for the 3 days. Then it got $190 million domestically for the 5-day weekend. And overall, worldwide, it made $372 million, making it the biggest opening weekend of 2026 so far. So it made some money.
That is incredible. So they did very well.
They did.
They were
did.
genius. They released it like right in the middle of spring break week. Like all the kids weren't at school, so everybody got to go see it.
It's true. Everyone did, except not as many people as the first movie. The first movie made about 145 million. So a little
that's
less.
still pretty close.
So it might not be a $1.3 billion movie. It might only be like a $1.1 billion movie. So,
Oh yeah. This one sucked. They did terrible.
Well, else something that's kind of cool? This first quarter is the best first quarter in movie, like people going to the movies. It made the most money since 2019.
Well, that's good news.
That is good news. So are we recovering from the pandemic a little bit? Maybe.
I think, yeah, because like it's becoming a thing that people are doing again. You know what I mean? Like it's been like whole generations have gone through high school since then. You know what I'm saying? So
It is weird to think of that, but you're right.
yeah. So yeah, everybody's going back to the movies.
Fantastic. You should go to the movies. That's it. I just like saying I'm gonna
That's
just
true.
yell at everyone to go to the movies every 2
I
minutes.
mean, yeah. Let's keep the industry alive.
Well, guys, if you're not gonna go see Mario in the movies, you know what you should go see? The new Spaceballs movie.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, Spaceballs 2. It is set to release on April 23rd, 2027. For God's sakes, go to the movies before then. I was just trying to connect the two the two stories here. But I'm excited. Mel Brooks is back, Rick Moranis, Bill Pullman, and pretty much everyone from the original who's still alive.
It's incredible. And it's funny. At first, I remember when we were first talking about this, I was kind of on the fence. Now, I'm honestly really excited for it. I don't know what it is. I just realized I'm like, you know what? They could actually make this really funny.
They
There's a really good chance this is going to be awesome.
Well, something you have to remember, Ryan, when they did Spaceballs, they only had the original trilogy to make fun of.
Correct.
Now they have 2 more trilogies of movies, the
Mhm.
side movies, and all the TV shows.
I was going to say all the shows. Oh, yeah, they're just going to rip it to shreds. It's going to be great.
Yeah, if they scary movie this, if they do a good job of making an actual story by blending all of these story elements that they can make fun of, I think we're in store for something good.
I think so too, and I think if this does really well, that bodes insanely well for Josh Gad to kind of maybe take the torch.
Yeah, Josh Gad is kind of helming it. And there's a lot of new people. There's Kiki Plummer. There's Lewis Pullman. He's the son of Bill Pullman, which I think he's going to play like a Kylo Ren character, obviously.
Yeah. And Josh Gad, he's like basically like at the helm of this whole film.
Yeah, he's
so
putting it together, yeah.
If it does well, maybe he can go on and be the new Mel Brooks, start making some like really, really good movies.
I'd love that. Josh Gad does always interesting things. He did a cameo in the show Wonder Man on Marvel's new show. That's a lot of fun. I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it, but check out Wonder Man.
Okay.
Specifically the episode called Doorman, and see what happened to Josh Gad.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
intrigued.
You should be. So, guys, we're going to jump in now to number 9, which is, of course, Scream 8. It's officially happening. It's in development, which shouldn't surprise anyone because Scream 7 actually made more money than any of the other films.
Right. It was very successful. Like whether or not you like you said, you loved it, hated it, whatever, you went and saw it. People did.
Yeah, and I liked the movie, but it had some glaring issues. There was some logic problems, but this next one could be pretty cool because it actually has the showrunners of Poker Face, the showrunners of that show. The reason why this is good is because that is a mystery show. Each episode was like a mystery. And what's problem with Scream is it's a whodunit. Every single,
Right.
movie, it's trying to figure out who is the killer because it can never be the same killer. I think they should jump the shark and just say the mask is possessed and makes people kill people. Like
Ooh.
just go completely left field. It worked great for Michael Myers when they did the Curse Michael Myers, and everyone just loved that so much. We just should make it supernatural. I'm being
Why
facetious.
not? I know, but honestly, in a weird way, I could see them trying that.
Fair enough.
I could see it, but I mean, we'll see. Scream 8. Get ready.
Get ready. What's funny is this is this is a franchise that started off by making fun of the horror franchise, making fun of the fact that we just keep pumping them out. I wonder how Wes Craven would feel about the fact that there's going to be a Scream 8. Probably blow his mind.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
not, because he made the first, Freddy Krueger, and then they did it with that.
Yeah, and I know he was a very opinionated guy too, so I would be curious to hear what he has to say about that.
One last thing that's kind of cool, if you think about it, there's 8 Nightmare on Elm Streets, right? They have the
Okay.
first 6, then they have a new Nightmare, and then they have the remake. So at this point, Scream has as many sequels as A Nightmare on Elm Street.
I mean, it's definitely iconic. I'd put it right there in the pool with the Jason mask and with Freddy's face and his claws and everything. Like, Scream has become iconic. Absolutely.
Crazy. Well, that is about it for all the news we have, except we got some celebrity deaths that Ryan's going to tell you about right now.
Remember that guy? Remember that gal? Well, now they're dead.
Reports circulated online claiming Nick Pope has died. There is no confirmation from major news outlets or official representatives.
However, that's just us covering our ass. He died. It's a MUFON's talking about it. All the coast to
Okay.
coast AMs talking about it. It just hasn't been officially announced by like Variety. Do you know what I mean?
Right, right.
But yeah, so Nick Pope, he was a UFO investigator. He was a former person in the military in England looking up UFOs. He was an author. He did Encounters at Remishing Forest, which I got him to sign when I met him at AlienCon. So he will be missed. He was actually going to be at the convention we're going to be in. He was going to be at the 4th annual Cryptids and Paranormal convention this year, and he's not because now he's dead.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, sorry, I
Well,
worded it that way.
yeah. No,
I
rest in
him.
peace,
Cancer,
man.
man, cancer.
Yeah, fuck
Got
cancer.
diagnosed with stage 4, and it was like a month later.
Oh, well, he will be missed.
Yes, sir. All right, so pour one out for him if you got him. And with that pretty much is a conclusion to our pop culture section, which
That's
brings
right.
us, of course, to our alien section, Ryan's
Yeah.
favorite part.
That's right. And I feel like this week should be dedicated to the memory of Nick Pope for this week's disclosure discussion. We got a pretty good one, and I hope you guys are ready for this week's
Disclosure discussion. Ha 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 ha. It's about aliens and stuff.
Roswell, Wright-Patterson, and a disappearance. Drive through Roswell and you'll see it everywhere. Streetlights shaped like alien heads, murals of flying saucers, and tourists posing with little green men. That's because nearly 80 years later, Roswell is still ground zero for one of the most debated events in modern history, the Roswell incident. Back in July 1947, the U.S. military made a stunning announcement. They had recovered a flying disc from a ranch outside Roswell. Then, just as quickly, they walked it back. The official explanation? A weather balloon. But that reversal is exactly what fueled decades of speculation. Many believe something far more extraordinary crashed in that desert, and that whatever was recovered, including alleged non-human bodies, was quietly transported to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. That base has long been rumored to house secret research into unidentified flying objects.
Yeah, it's the real Roswell.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's where the aliens actually are.
That's honestly, from my research, that's true. Now it's back in the spotlight. Recent attention has been drawn to the disappearance of William Neil McCaslin. a retired Air Force Major General who once led the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson. His career placed him at the center of some of the Pentagon's most advanced aerospace research. The Air Force has consistently denied ever possessing alien technology or extraterrestrial bodies, but not everyone buys that.
Nope, not at all.
Donald Schmidt, lead investigator at International UFO Museum in Roswell, claims there are dozens of credible witnesses supporting the original story. According to Schmidt, there are around 30 deathbed confessions, statements he says will hold up in court, all claiming that a craft of unknown origin was recovered along with wreckage and bodies. And that's what separates Roswell from most UFO cases. Most sightings are fleeting, a light in the sky, a blurry photo, a quick video. Roswell, on the other hand, is alleged to involve physical evidence. Since 1947, the U.S. Department of Defense has logged more than 1,600 reports of UFOs in the sky. And it's not just the United States. Countries like Russia, China, and Japan are tracking similar incidents. In recent years, public interest has surged yet again. Declassified military...
I mean, how can it not surge? Every 2 seconds, there's like more alien stuff, more alien stuff, more alien stuff. People have slowly come over to, oh yeah, I guess there are aliens. Somehow no one cares, but apparently we're all starting to believe. It is a really weird way the disclosure is happening. It's happening slowly to the point where people are just like, oh, I guess aliens are real. It's like, why aren't your minds blown? It's fine.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has accepted that, like, UFOs are real. UAP is real, but they don't know what it is.
Yeah, they might not say alien, but we know it's the alien.
That's right. So we have declassified military footage, reports of unidentified aerial encounters, and even congressional hearings featuring whistleblowers discussing what are now called UAPs. Through it all, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base remains a focal point, deeply tied to decades of official investigations into unexplained objects dating back to the Cold War. As for McCaslin's disappearance, authorities say there is currently no evidence linking to UFO research, but the circumstances are unsettling. Before vanishing from his home in Albuquerque, he reportedly experienced mental fog, serious enough that he stepped down from several roles. During the search, authorities recovered some of his belongings, including a light green long-sleeve shirt and hiking boots. Still missing are his wallet, revolver, leather holster, and a red backpack. And while officials aren't connecting the dots, for many people, the timing, the location tied to one of the most secretive bases in the country is enough to raise questions. Because when it comes to Roswell, the story has never really ended or ever really been told.
Dun, dun, dun. But here's a thought. If he had, government information, if he had classified information, and what if that brain fog, he started losing his memory?
Yeah.
Or, he started getting a little fog. They'd be worried, right? They'd be worried about him spilling the beans on something or like bringing up something that he's not supposed to. So they might grab him, bringing him into the base and like make him stay there for the rest of his life, or just straight up kill him. Or maybe he went with aliens. Maybe he went home. Maybe he went and got picked up. He made friends with him a long time ago.
Maybe. And I've heard of other reports that are getting tied into this story as I was looking into it. Nothing I could find that looked super official, but this is not the first case recently where people who are involved with these kind of branches of government, these kind of branches of the military, all of a suddenly vanish or are suddenly murdered, and they can't figure out how it happened.
Wouldn't it be weird if it's just because the government's too cheap to pay the the retirement funds of these people? They're like, did he know some classified information? No, we just didn't want to give him the gold watch.
It's like, yes,
yes. It's like,
he did. Yeah, super classified stuff. He was too dangerous.
Too dangerous.
I had to get rid of that one.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So don't worry about that, dear.
So, guys, I guess the point we're trying to make is if you ever get involved with the government and alien technology or classified information, maybe if you retire, you hide under a rock.
Yep.
Just saying. Maybe it's a good idea.
Stay sharp as a tack.
Yeah, exactly.
Evidently, that is key to success in survival post working in these kind of government branches.
Apparently.
But here on this podcast, we are just as vulnerable, I think, because we know quite a bit. And every now and then,
You don't even remember when I tell you about a TV show.
what?
Exactly.
What TV show?
All right, guys. Well, what do you think? Do you think this disappearance is connected to his work in ufology, or what
Yes.
do you think? Yes, Ryan does.
Yes.
If you guys think so, please tell us on Instagram, Facebook, any of our social medias. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
That's right, we would. So thank you guys for tuning into this week's disclosure discussion. So I guess that brings us to the next segment.
Real world weird.
All right. So for this first real world weird, you guys, you've heard of a tiny home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could live in a tiny home. I think I could live in a tiny home. I don't think my kids and my wife could live in a tiny home. But like having one room, I've done that like a lot, man. I lived in LA, I lived in Chicago, rent's high. So
Yeah.
having a small little studio apartment, but you have a yard, I could deal with that. But this one takes the cake. I don't know if I could do this.
The world's narrowest house. If you've ever complained about not having enough space in your home, you might want to sit down for this one.
Hold my beer.
In the district of Acalama in Huaral, Peru, there's a house that takes cozy living to a whole new level. In fact, it may be the most extreme example of downsizing ever attempted. This fully functional home measures just 63 centimeters wide. Yeah, that's about 2 feet.
Which, okay, how is that even possible? Like, I don't know if I laid flat on my back, if 2 feet, if I could have a bed, like, how do you do anything? Is 2 feet enough for a toilet?
Like, I don't know.
But if everything is only 2 feet through the whole house, like, how do you have a hallway to the next room? Because if it seems like if you have a bed or toilet, it's gonna block the way to the next. This is blowing my mind.
I have no idea. Now, somehow, this isn't just a novelty or an art piece. This is an actual house. We're talking a bathroom, kitchen, dining area, bedroom, study, laundry space, and even 2 staircases connecting multiple levels. All of that crammed into a space narrower than your average doorway. The house was designed and built by a local resident, Fabio Moreno, who wanted to prove a point that happiness isn't about how big your home is, but how well you use the space you've got.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished,
Yeah.
Fabio.
You did it.
Despite looking
But
like...
now you have to fucking live in that.
Dude, it looks like something out of Tim Burton. It looks like something straight out of a cartoon or like a building that got stuck mid-loading. It's already attracting serious attention. Thousands of visitors have come to check it out, and it's quickly becoming a local tourist attraction.
I can see why it would, because just from the outside, like Ryan said, it looks fake. It looks like a billboard. Like, like, hey, this is what a house would look like for ants.
It really does. Really does. And yes, you can visit it, but there's a catch. Because of how ridiculously narrow it is, it's almost impossible for more than one person to move through the interior at the same time. So if you go with friends, you'll have to take turns experiencing the house. Moreno has...
If it's an actual tourist thing, dude, how long do you have to wait in line if they only can let one person go in at a time?
Not worth it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and say
that
not
would
worth
take a
it.
really long. You know what else? That's the scariest house to be in ever. If there was like a fire
Or like a really strong wind.
or a stampede, you don't play Jumanji in that house, man.
Not in that.
A strong
wanna
wind.
Don't want to go down that road.
A strong wind. Yeah, you're like a sail. Ugh.
Moreno has even applied to Guinness World Records to officially claim the title of World's Narrowest House. The application is still pending as it requires formal measurements and documentation, but he seems pretty confident he's got this one locked down. And honestly,
Fair enough. Yeah.
unless someone else builds a house the width of a pizza box, I think he's safe. Real world? Yeah. Weird? Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I would, if we had our, they invited us to go check it out for the podcast where we didn't have to wait in line, I would check it out.
I would check it out. Yeah.
There's a lot of things in Peru I'd like to see.
I feel like you could, if he put that on Airbnb, he'd make a killing.
I don't know, man. I'm not claustrophobic, but I don't know if I could handle that. Like, a tiny home is one thing because it's small, but it's like one room. This would be like, you'd feel like you were stuck in a wall.
People in New York City would be like, dude, that's huge. What are you talking about?
I just have so many questions. Like, how do you have a cabinet or furniture? Like, if it like a technical house, sure, but like, is there any way to actually live in it?
I mean, I assume, you could lay in a bed. I mean, you can't really toss and turn much, but you know,
you gotta better be a side sleeper.
that's when. So you know, because he's got it on multiple levels, right? So it's like up here's the bathroom, probably like you know, like so utilize like the space. So like yeah, it's only 2 feet wide, but it's tall. You know, so
Uh,
it's got some space up there.
I know. This is a ridiculous concept to me. I want to check
You
it out.
pulled it
though.
off though. Fabio did it.
Well, Fabio could do anything. Have you met Fabio? He is a long-haired, beautiful man on the cover of all these romance novels for the last 30 years.
That's right.
Might be a different Fabio.
Unlike me, I call myself Flabio.
Oh my God, that's funny.
That's right.
Yeah, you're not fat though, so
No,
that's just a case of body dysmorphia.
Well,
You're fine.
I'm no Fabio. I'm not ripped, you know. You know, so but anyways, so that brings us to our next one, which
Ryan's intervention.
the ghostly neighbor from hell. We've all had bad neighbors. Loud music, barking dogs, maybe someone who mows their lawn at 7 a.m. on a Sunday.
Damn you, Greg!
But one guy in China took things to a whole new supernatural level.
What?
Locked in a bitter feud with his neighbor, a man identified as Lou came up with a truly bizarre way to get revenge by turning his apartment into a full-time haunted house.
This is actually a pretty fun one. I like it. I think this is a good way to mess with someone.
His weapon of choice? Ghostly sounds. We're talking eerie noises, spooky audio, the kind of stuff you'd expect in a horror movie played directly through a speaker pressed against the shared wall. And this wasn't just a quick prank.
It took a while.
Lou blasted these sounds for about 4 hours every morning, followed by another 6 hours in the afternoon and evening. 10 hours a day of ghosts.
It's commitment to fucking with your neighbor.
Now, here's where it gets even better. Or worse, depending on where you live. Another resident in the building, a man named Kui, who lived 2 floors away, was also forced to endure the daily paranormal soundtrack. Imagine sitting in your apartment minding your business and hearing ghosts all day long through the walls. Eventually, Kui had enough and called the police, but when the authorities investigated, they ran into a problem. Technically, Lou wasn't breaking the law. He had set the volume just low enough to stay under the legal noise limit.
Okay, so a few things to unpack there. They have like an actual decimal like noise limit. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. So
I think we do too.
really?
I think so.
Yeah, but I've never seen a cop come up with like a noise meter being like, "Ah, you guys are too damn loud."
I'm sure they would too. I mean,
I
just
don't-
saying, but
I don't know, man. But okay, so what I was gonna say is it's under the noise limit, but the guy was like 2 floors away who's complaining, so that's still pretty loud.
it's pretty bad. And so while it was incredibly annoying and deeply unsettling, it wasn't loud enough to qualify as a violation. So for a while, he got away with it. But Kui wasn't letting this turn into a long-running horror franchise. He argued that playing ghost noises for 10 hours a day on purpose was clearly meant to disturb people, regardless of how quiet it was. And surprisingly, the court agreed. Lou was officially ordered to shut it down, ending the daily ghost broadcasts and dismantling his very creative, very petty setup. So let this be a lesson to everyone out there. If you're going to haunt your neighbor, make sure you don't do it for 10 hours a day. Maybe,
No,
8.
6, yeah.
6.
But it really doesn't matter because the moral of this story is he was able to be a dick for a really long time and never got in trouble. It just says that they ordered him to stop.
Right.
It's like he still never really broke the law. You just got a court order to be like, hey, quit being a prick, man.
And
Come on, Lou. Come on, Lou. What are you doing, man?
I'm worried about Lou.
Like Lou.
I'm worried about Lou. That was his choice, was like, I'm going to do spooky sounds. I'm going to do ghosts. Like, and to me, like, there's something disturbing deep within Lou. Because if that was your choice, like, right, like, I'd understand maybe some annoying music, something like that. But no. He went straight to haunted house ambience and, like, screaming and stuff. So, like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, you could take a page from that new A24 film Undertone and just play really creepy nursery rhymes backwards.
That's right. That would do it for me. That would freak me out.
That would, yeah. Something about anything that's children from like the early 1900s, like the music, the puppets, the toys, something about it's really, really creepy. I don't know.
I have to agree. The porcelain dolls, even like the Raggedy Ann dolls and everything, because that was what the original Annabelle was a
Was a
Raggedy
Raggedy
Ann.
Ann doll,
And,
yeah.
so no, it definitely falls into the category of creepy, and that kind of ties in with our spooky stuff today too, which that was like an older one that was over in the UK. Older,
we
creepy.
bookended this with ghosts, man.
That's right, creepy, very creepy, ghosts, spooky stuff, Earthling entertainment, UFOs, pop culture. It's what we do, bro. It's what we do. It's what you came here for, and it's what we delivered. We delivered it.
We sure did, and that brings us to the end of the show. Guys, we can't thank you enough for being listeners. We've been doing this for a really long time, and we enjoy every minute of it. And we are happy to say that we have continued to grow our listeners, our downloads, our social media feeds. It
Thank
just
you,
keeps-
guys.
Thank you so much. And if you want to support, please download this episode. Downloading the episode is actually the best way to support the show, because that is how you tell people who want to advertise with us that you're listening. So definitely do it.
And I feel like another important thing is to share us with someone else who enjoys podcasts and is looking for something new. Be like, hey, Earthling Entertainment. Huh?
I mean, it really is fun for the whole family. Actually, I take that back. You probably shouldn't listen to this if you're under 18. Just as a disclaimer, we do, we're not vulgar, but
there are going to be swear words here and there. We're gonna do some swears.
Yeah. Which reminds me, at the end of this episode, if you listen till after the end music, there is a fun little outtake about this random pillow that was advertised to me on Facebook.
That's right, there will be. And boy, oh boy, is it suggestive.
Oh, yep, very much so. Anywho, from all of us here at Earthling Entertainment, see ya.
And goodbye.
I might add a few things at the end of the credits. We'll see what
we got some stuff.
All right.
We got some stuff.
Yeah. Didn't quite fit in the show.
Not quite, but it will now, maybe.
Goodbye.
Bye. Music. Yeah. Bye.
Hey guys, so when recording, occasionally we just kind of goof off or go on a tangent that we have to cut out for timing, and there's a lot of nonsense that gets on the cutting room floor. So this week we decided to compile some of that nonsense and give it to you. So check it out. Here's some nonsense, not technically part of the show. Don't judge us. Are you looking for a podcast that is the perfect blend of paranormal and pop culture?
I am.
Well, we have one for you. It's called Earthling Entertainment.
Earthling Entertainment with spooky stuff and pop culture. Are there UFOs?
You bet your ass there are. It's hard for me not to say that. So there's a little piece of news that I wanted to bring up to you because I thought it was very interesting. It doesn't quite fall under the headlines or anything like that. But so apparently a federal judge ruled in favor of the Satanic Church in an
Arkansas?
Yeah, I know. I think I misspelled it. 10 Commandments monument case. So basically, the story goes, there's this big monument on government property that is of the 10 Commandments, and the Satanic Church was pretty much like, hey, if you can do that, we want a statue of the goat-headed Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Well, a federal judge was like, yeah, that's fair.
Baphomet.
Yes, there you go. Well, basically, a federal judge was like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. They're both religious persecution. If you allow one, you have to allow the other. And I just thought that was very, very interesting. And I wanted to bring up, Ryan, that now is the time with all this freedom of religion that is in the news, if we bring back Sagetism.
Bob Saget did start a comedy career for all of our sins.
That's true. That's true. I just remember it was the Michelangelo David, the statue with boxer shorts on and Bob Saget's head.
That's right.
And it was everyone worshiping Bob Saget. And the Olsen twins in this religion were the devil, because when Lucifer fell, according to Sagetism, he hit Earth on the way to hell, broke into two parts, and there was two separate hells. One was of psychological torture, and the other was of physical torture. And depending on your crimes on Earth, in which hell you went to, that's which one you went to. But they kept growing because man is inherently bad, unfortunately. So eventually these two hells broke into each other, and the Olsen twins saw each other and remembered who they were, and suddenly went back to Earth in the form of the Olsen twins. So every time you watch Full House, it's actually the battle between good and evil without us even knowing. Bob Saget, God being omnipotent, knowing everything, sent Bob Saget back 30, 40 years earlier, 20 years early. I don't know how Bob Saget was when the Olsen twins were born. But the point is early to help this battle. And that was the religion of Sagetism that I made up in high school as a joke in a theology paper.
In Bob Saget, we trust.
How do we transfer to that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Joe.
I don't know if we should include any of that.
I don't. So, we went to the movies.
All right, hold on. Hey, Timmy, are you looking for... Not Timmy.
Wow, I am.
Well, we have one for you. It's called Earthling Entertainment.
It has spooky stuff.
That's right, cryptids.
Crips.
Crips.
Got crips.
No bloods, though. All right, Ryan. So before we begin, I am on Facebook, and I don't know what the algorithm is telling Facebook I want to buy, but does this not look like a sex pillow to you?
It certainly does, Joe.
All right, now explain to the audience what this is an ad for.
It says it is a monk couple pillow.
A monk couple. Those are two different things in my mind. Like a monk is celibate. Celibate. They're not having sex. God, I'm tumbling over
it
words
looks
today.
like you lay on this and it brings your buttocks up into the air in a way that is suggestive.
Yeah,
suggestive.
And your head is quite lower than your butt while laying on this pillow.
But to be fair, the second item is the Jurassic Park night vision goggles. So I mean that does actually kind of compute.
Yeah, it's funny because what this is telling me is, according to Facebook, according to the algorithm, they're like, "Oh, he's a horny nerd."
That's right, and they nailed it.
I mean, no more than the next nerd, I guess. I mean, I am married. I'm not like, what is it, an incel?
That's right. If the boot fits, if the boot fits.
Yeah. It is a monk couple pillow. I kind of wish we could take a pic. And this is a real fucking product.
It is.
This is something that is actually here. Hold on. What does this say? For $93.99,
a steal.
A steal. Holy oh no, it's totally a sex pillow. Look at this other picture.
Oh, yep. There that is quite literally a sex pillow.
Yeah, it kind of
that is what that is for.
We can make a competing pillow and call it like the Kama Comfort for the Kama Sutra. I don't know.
Oh no.
Put like, what are those weird little mandalas on it? Just be like, yeah, your wife on this.
Oh my God. Out of this world.
Quiz. There's always kind of genre news and all kinds of celebrity deaths. All kinds of it. If you're a celebrity and you die, we're going to talk about it.
I actually was hoping for UFOs.
Well, bet your ass we got that too at the end. Oh, that's good, but we got to get a better flow.
Yeah, I know.